From Eyewitness News, Connecticut's most watched local political program, this is Face the State.
Good morning. I'm Dennis House, and thanks for joining us. And the breaking news in the governor's race is that Jonathan Harris is now officially a candidate. He officially made that announcement yesterday, having raised $250,000 for public financing. Jonathan Harris is 53 years old, a former state senator, former mayor of West Hartford, and commissioner of consumer protection. And Commissioner Harris is with us this Sunday morning. Commissioner Harris, good to see you back here.
It's great to be here.
Last time we had you on, you were exploring.
Yes.
You had to raise the money and test the waters, and obviously you like what you learned and like what you found. Why do you want to be governor?
Well, I'll tell you, just 10 months I've been at this week. I've gone to over 200 events, talked to thousands of people, listened, had great conversations. I've picked up grassroots support, whether it's political support or the fundraising, as you said. We have more qualifying dollars than anyone in the Democratic field. We will have our qualifying dollars, our public financing before the convention. We'll have our 15% to qualify for a primary. And it seemed right. I also, in addition to the grassroots support, 92% of our contributions, small contributions, were from within Connecticut. So again, we have over 3,000 contributions. But in addition to that grassroots support, I was getting the support of people like my former colleagues, State Senator Beth Bayh, State Senator Tim Larson, former State Senator Edith Prague, Representative Johnson, Representative Orange, and many others.
As you go to the convention, you're going to have to face two big names that we know about, Susan Bysiewicz and Ned Lamont, both of whom have won conventions in years past for other statewide jobs. How difficult will they be to beat? And do you think you'll emerge from the convention as the endorsed candidate?
What I think is I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing for 10 months, what I've been doing for my whole career as a public servant and in the private sector, is working hard every day, getting out there, listening to people, building support. And I'm confident that we're going to be successful if we keep on doing the same thing. And you know something? But when I've been out there, people are saying the same thing. People understand that we're a state in crisis, that we need to make changes, that while the sky is not falling, it is cracked. And I am the proven progressive problem solver. I'm the one that has done economic development, understands how to create jobs, both from the public and the private sector. I'm going to bring that message to people and talk about that and have a good discussion.
It may not be fair, it may not be well-deserved, but the governor from your party is taking a lot of the blame for the crisis that the state is in right now, and people are going to want change, even some of the Democratic voters. If they choose Jonathan Harris, what will the first 100 days of your administration look like in terms of change?
Well, first of all, it's all going to be about jobs and education. We have to do what I was able to do to get West Hartford out of a fiscal crisis back in 2001. We have to be able to get our fiscal house in order and then have a realistic economic development strategy, one that is not top-down, that favors the top 1%, but that focuses on the entrepreneurs, the small and mid-sized businesses, one that is organic and bottom-up, knowing when to get out of the way as a government, knowing how to set the conditions so that we have private sector development. That's what made West Hartford successful. That's what brought us Blueback Square, a regional focus in the area. We did that when I was mayor with these types of strategies.
You bring up Blueback Square, and many towns would love to emulate West Hartford Center. It's a thriving place right now. What, as governor, would you do to make other towns as successful?
I think you have to have a toolkit of ways to attract private investment. Let me tell you what we did. The two most important things that actually created West Hartford Center, allowing outdoor dining and relaxing parking restrictions, allowed private sector money to come in. We had 2 boarded up polluted car dealerships. We created transportation infrastructure, a grid, a better transportation system in that area and beyond to allow traffic flow. We prospectively changed our zoning to allow greater height, greater density, so that developers could have better cash flows. These are ways that you set the table. You don't give away big tax breaks, you don't pick winners and losers, but you make the area attractive for development.
What do you say to the voters in Hartford, 2 miles away? Downtown is much different. There are empty storefronts. Some have been empty for 20 years. And yet downtown there's in West Hartford Center, there's a waiting list to open a shop. How are you going to impact the cities as governor in terms of improving them?
Well, first of all, we need vibrant cities, without a doubt. The same types of strategies. My business, I had an economic development and real estate business, which interestingly enough was regulated by consumer protection, and then I became the regulator. So I've literally seen this from both sides of the desk. My business trying to operate in Hartford, barrier after barrier after barrier. Those are the things that we have to tie down. The state can provide tools, incentives to get this done.
You've been in state government for a long time. You were a state senator. You were a commissioner, obviously a mayor, so you're very familiar with the ongoing budget debate and how to put together a state budget.
Yep.
What would you cut if governor? Because a lot of people are saying there's just too much waste, there's too much spending.
I would do what I did in West Hartford and at Consumer Protection in difficult fiscal times. We actually eliminated a lot of redundancies between the school side and the town side by bringing people together, both the schools, the board, the town administration, labor, management. We were able to actually reinvent West Hartford and continue to deliver quality education. Actually, one of the first, if not the first, to do pre-K. We had that in West Hartford in the midst of a crisis. We had underfunded pensions. We made our pension payments. We needed to build a third middle school. We figured out how to get that done because we took a look at where we were spending our money and we reinvented that to preserve the quality of our town.
If you go to Foxwoods or Mohegan on a Saturday or Sunday, they have lines and crowds that would make West Hartford jealous. It is packed all the time there on the weekends. And yet the people in Bridgeport, they want a casino. They're told they cannot have one. As governor, would you support opening up casino gambling, make it an open market? And would you support a casino in Bridgeport over the one in East Windsor?
I regulated the casinos when I was at Consumer Protection, so I understand how they work. I would be very cautious, I will tell you, on a massive expansion of gaming. It is something that we need to talk about, but we want to balance the state budget based upon growth, based upon raising revenue in ways that are fair, that people pay their fair share, based upon focusing our government on the key elements that we need: education, healthcare, long-term care, public safety. That is the way we get out of this. Growth and being much more strategic.
Is an East Windsor casino the smartest way to expand gambling in our state?
The
Well, do you support it, first of all?
The legislature decides that, and as governor, as head of the executive branch, just like I dealt with it to help create the regulations to begin that process at Consumer Protection, I will follow that policy. But again, the focus can't be on casinos. It can't be on gaming. It's got to be on righting the fiscal ship. It's got to be on reinventing the way that we deliver services. At Consumer Protection, we were down over time 25% of our staff, given more to do, whether it was important activities to combat the opioid epidemic or running the cutting-edge medical marijuana program that's providing veterans with PTSD medicine, people suffering from cancer, helping stop kids from seizing with severe epilepsy. We were able to do that. We did more with less. We did it better because we were strategic about it.
Jonathan Harris, candidate for governor. We appreciate you coming to the program. I'm sure we'll see you again for a debate.
Thank you.